All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another night of road course action-packed racing. I'm your host Ryan Went, and joined with me always, Mr. Robert Church. What are these guys going to have to do tonight to get to victory lane? Do you think?
I don't know. I'd have to say just be consistent. I mean, you don't want any off tracks or anything like that. A lot of these guys probably know or have been on this track in the past, but you still got to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in that treacherous bus stop, which is right off the main track. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of people have some headache there, and it's definitely going to have to be something that we keep an eye out on throughout the night. Tonight is Daytona International Road Course, and the great thing about tonight, Church, is it's a crown jewel, man. There's a lot riding on it.
Yeah, for sure. First crown jewel of the season for the road cars, and everybody wants that crown jewel, so we'll
I
see what happens.
I do believe there's 3 of them in this series. I mean, I'd have to double check, but it's going to be great. Bring up the race info here. Daytona International Speedway. It is the road course edition. The track length is 3.54 miles. The temperature outside is 96 degrees at an altitude of 37 feet. I'm sorry, that's track temperature. The weather outside is 70 degrees, 35% humidity, partly cloudy, 6-mile-an-hour wind. About the track, pretty much as it states, the road course was built in 1959 and the first hosted 3-hour sports car race was called a Daytona Continental in 1962. The race length became 2,000 kilometers, so 1,200 miles in 1964, and in 1966 it was extended to a 24-hour endurance race, well known as the Rolex 24-hour at Daytona.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like it can seat 150,000 people, so that's a lot of people. Hopefully we get those grandstands packed up.
Let's turn on the scenic view, see if we can't get a good view of.
I looked for hotels and everything like that while I was doing my research this week around the track or in the track. There's a couple on the outside of the track. They're a little bit further down, but well, I forgot what I was going to say.
Hotels, I think you were on.
Yeah,
Your
hotel.
obsession with hotels.
I was told by one of the drivers this week that there really is a Hooters restaurant on the outside of this track somewhere. So not sure where that's at, but that's pretty cool.
So I'm going to say your favorite thing in life is to stay at hotels and eat at Hooters. Stay at hotels
Yeah.
and eat at Hooters.
Yeah, man, those chicken wings, those are good.
They do have a lot of spices, and the cars just finished qualifying. So we're going to get your starting grid here momentarily. And we're going to get this show on the road. It's going to be a 90-minute race, Church.
90-minute crown jewel.
Yep, which is 30 minutes longer than our typical race, which is at 60 minutes. Do you think endurance for these drivers are going to play a factor?
Oh, for sure. Any added time than what they're used to driving, that's an extra half hour, and you can get quite a few laps, I'm sure, in half hour.
All right, so here's your starting grid. We got James Pierce, pole position. No surprise, right? Is it Thaddeus? Thaddeus?
I just call him Thad.
Thad. Let's call him Thad. Thad's number 2. Michael Strickland is man, that overlay's a little messed up. I'm gonna fix that. But Michael Strickland 3rd, Peyton Sweet 4th, Bryant Lucas 5th, Steven Salas 6th, Christopher Burr 7th, Mark Odell 8th. That's going to round out the GTPs. For the GT3s, you got Nathan Biggert, Colby Hardtongue on your front row, David Steiner, Gene McClawn, I think.
Yep.
In your row 2, row 3. There we go. Row 3, Noah Blackwell and Michael McCaffrey. Row 4, Anthony Damani and Mark Gretchen. Wesley Strait, Tyler Hammond is going to round out the last party.
Although Mark Odell jumped in a looks like a GTP, right?
Yeah, man, it's different for him, I don't know. I've never seen him race road. Have you?
I haven't. That's pretty interesting to watch. Also to watch that Thad Marshall guy. He's new to the league also, so we'll see what he can do.
And I don't honestly. So you folks, yeah, they're gonna bleed over. Let me. I do not want.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You get that fixed. But here we are. We're rolling off now for the Daytona Crown Jewel Road Race. So get your popcorn, get your soda, get your beers. Hey, speaking of beers, fun fact. I got an early one.
Oh,
fun fact.
Right out of the gate, huh?
Granted, this is Daytona International Speedway. During speed weeks, whether it's NASCAR or road, they sell about 20,000 gallons of beer. That is crazy.
20,000 gallons.
20,000 gallons of beer during that whole week.
That's a lot of booze, man.
Yeah, you can get a couple states drunk on that.
Not in Florida, brother. That's kind of what they do. And you know, as for Iowa, Missouri, all the Midwest guys.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Ryan, I've been really excited for this race at Daytona. You know, most of these guys have probably been on this track. If they've ever been on a road track, Daytona would probably be one of them.
Yeah, I mean the Rolex 24 actually just popped up not too long ago. As we go green, you're gonna see the gap difference between the GTPs and the GT3s. They always split it so they don't get hung up on each other, because the GTPs are so much faster than the GT3s.
Yeah, right. That's a smart move on their part. Kind of, you know, separating. Oh, we got a wreck in the back on the GT3s.
Oh yeah, it looks like Noah Blackwell. Let's go back to it. Check it out.
Destroyed that car, it looked like.
Oh wow, man, that is very unfortunate right out of the gate. I do believe these guys have they have a fast repair. So
Okay, yep.
I think fortunately they're going to be able to, you know, get these cars. Oh yeah, you could just see Noah Blackwell clip into Gene there, and it was around. And Anthony DeMonte was involved in that. Fortunately, Tyler Hammond was as well.
Yeah, they couldn't even make turn. Well, I'm glad they have a fast repair. That way, you know, they can get back out there, because that happened way too prematurely.
Yeah, I mean, you know, probably pre-race jitters, you know, play a factor in it, and then, you know, everybody's already fast here. You know, everybody knows they're fast here. So I think we're going to see more aggressive driving than we normally do. I'm trying to get this map pulled up for everybody.
Yeah, you're good. Scanning through the field here. Looks like got Noah Blackwell clear back here. I think he was involved in that crash. He's running 12. Let's see. Let's change.
Oh, he just looks like he just wrecked again. Maybe that car's just out. He's gonna tow it. He's gonna jump right to the pits and get that car repaired as fast as he possibly can and get back on the track.
Yeah, that didn't look like a soft hit by any means when they hit. I caught him about clear across the track and seen a big crash, and so
it does happen. I mean, these GTPs are quick, man. I mean, they're nose to tail right now. They're all chasing one another. You know, Stryker's under pressure from Marshall right now, as they're running through this track. I mean, Marshall is on him like white on rice. A paper plate in a snowstorm, as I'd like to call it.
For sure, dude, for sure. It'll be fun to watch this Thad Marshall guy and see what he's doing. He's currently running third. I'm thinking Stryker must be second. So
Stryker's in the infamous spot of chasing Pierce down. But if anybody can defeat the giant, Stryker.
Yeah, Ryan, it looks like we have Tyler Hammond in the pits. He's stopping right now, so I'm not sure what's going on with him. If we can find out.
I got a fun fact for you. I heard from a little bird that B&B is watching Tyler tonight, and do you know who B&B is?
I do not.
B&B is his grandparents. They're tuned in and watching their grandson wheel around this track. So once he gets up and rolling, we'll give him a little screen time so they can watch his grandson do his thing. You know, maybe nerves are a part of it. Maybe he knows they're watching. So, you know, he just got to get the nerves calmed down and get back into a rhythm, and he'll work his way back up. I got full confidence.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome that they're watching, and so we got to give a big shout out to Tyler Hammond's grandparents.
Absolutely.
Hope you enjoy the race.
Welcome to the show. And here he is in this number 10 white and black Bracken with a squid on the side. Very cool paint job.
Yeah, it kind of looks like everybody's pretty spread out. Not a whole bunch of huge battles going on. Thad and Stryker, they're nose to tail there, but
yeah, it looks like Thad's kind of taking off. You know who's up 4 positions? Mr. Mark Gretchen. He's one of those guys that I think maybe benefited from them kind of going all haywire up front right out of the gate.
Yeah, you know how Mark is when it comes to him driving anything. He's just slow and steady, slow and steady. So I'm sure that's what he's going to continue to do, and we'll just see him moving to the front.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to see some headlights pop up. I believe the race is going to transition into night as the sun goes down. So that's going to make very difficult for these guys to make changes throughout the race because that track's going to cool off, speeds are going to pick up. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it seems like it's cooled off quite a bit. I believe from what you said from qualifying, the track was like 97 degrees or something like that. It's currently 71, so it's really cooling off real quick.
Yeah, and we're still sitting here with Mark Gretchen as he's trying to chase down Michael Caffrey. Michael Caffrey also up 4 positions. I don't know if he was a beneficiary, of the mayhem that ensued right out of the gate, but we'll have to keep a close eye on these drivers and see if tire wear, fuel management, all the above, day to night, doesn't change the transition of how this race plays out over the next 90 minutes.
Ryan, I'm not for sure, but Grayson Lucas and Wesley Straight are both just sitting in the pits. Not sure if they had an incident or something happened, but yeah, they're both in the pits, and I've been keeping an eye on them, and they haven't moved anytime soon.
And one of the things you got to keep in mind is these guys are running open setups. They're not fixed setups, so they could very well be, and they're just making slight adjustments. It's very hard to make adjustments on the move, while they're running at a road course.
Right. Okay, well, maybe that's what they're doing. I guess I could have zoomed in and seen if they had any damage on their cars, but we'll just keep an eye on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Every week, we got Nathan Biggert and Kobe Hartung nose to tail for, I want to say 7th and 8th place. Biggert's in 7th and Kobe's in 8th. Seems like every week they're battling with each other.
So just to reiterate, that's going to be 1-2 in the GT3 class. So they are racing for the lead in their class as trying to keep their position on the track and stay out of those fast GT way.
Grayson Lucas is back on track. He was one of the guys that pitted. He's running 12th right now. Still looks like Wesley's in the pits.
And he has the Acura GTP, so there's no doubt in my mind he's not going to pick up the pace, pick up the tempo, get rolling up front as fast as he possibly can. My guess is these guys that had to go to pits, they're trying to save that fast repair as long as possible.
Yes, for sure. It looks like Stryker's a little bit falling off from Thad. Thad's running second, Stryker in third. But it surprises me every week. Steven Salas running fourth. He's got more experience. He must have more experience in this road racing than I would have imagined and thought. He's been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, man. He's in that yellow and pink machine, so you can't miss that lollipop floating around the track. Here's some sweet stuff here for you. Tyler Hammond. Grandparents are watching. A lot of pressure. He's up 3 positions already. So fortunately for him, when Wesley Straight and Odell was in the pits, he's definitely jumping and taking advantage of that.
Yeah, just another one too. Slow and steady wins the race. Just cruise and try to keep it clean and try to keep the car in one piece and keep moving forward.
Yeah, we're going to I'm going to change our view to exciting. We're going to see if we can't follow a lot of these drivers. We got Noah Blackwell, we got Peyton Sweet trying to make a move right here on Chris Roberge. This battle's going to heat up really quick because Peyton likes to push that car. He's not scared to.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking here at the current standings. Of course, we've got James Pierce leading the GTP with Peyton Sweet in second, 19 points behind. So we'll see if he can gain any ground on that tonight. The really one to watch is the GT3 class. Man, it's a really close race. Down to 1 through 5 is just a couple points behind, anywhere from 11 points up. So You know, Gene's leading that, Colby second, Michael Caffrey third, and Biggert fourth, and Steiner fifth. So, you know, a GT3 race is really a good race to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got Nathan Biggert, Colby Hartung, Steiner, Caffrey, Retchen, all your top 5 drivers for the GT3 class. And then you got Pierce, Marshall, Stryker, Salas, and Sweet for your top 5 in the GTPs.
Everybody's pretty spread out.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking it easy. You know, they know there's a lot of racing left, you know, and we're going to sit here, watch Steven Salas overtake Noah Blackwell, and he does with ease, obviously. Noah gave it up to him. And, he overshot the corner, and that's going to allow that GT3 car to get right back around him. No worries, though. He'll get back up to speed in no time and get right back around him, but just a little mishap, no big deal. Off track is a common thing.
Yep, we just got James Pierce going around Caffrey right here. Just Caffrey's like letting him by, you know, you don't want to fight those GTP cars, so just letting him by.
Caffrey's currently sitting fourth, biding his time.
Let's see if we can get some more facts up here.
On board with Michael Caffrey as he wheels it around. You know, it's funny watching these guys. It seems like they're going so slow when we're watching. And you know, if we were in here driving these cars, we'd be all tensed up, you know.
Yeah, we would be slow. If we were in the car, we would be slow, and we would look slow. It looks that way because I'm in the blip view, so clear up above, it does look like they're going awful slow, but they're flying.
Yeah, I mean these guys are hitting these corners and their marks as hard and as fast as they possibly can, and it takes a lot of talent to do it. It really does.
Let's see.
Go on board with Tyler Hammond here as he's back at it, wheeling this Porsche around. I don't know if you've ever sitting in the cockpit of these Porsches, man, but they sound so sweet. They're high pitched. I love them. He's currently sitting 8th in the GT3 class.
But it looks like here I want to say the Daytona lap record is from the Lamborghini at a 1:48.86. I thought I seen something earlier that was different, but I'll look more into it and get back with you guys on that.
We keep rolling here, watching Tyler Hammond work his way back up. He's not terribly off pace. He'll get everything back together. I'm eager to see what this young man can do, you know, over the course of the season. From what I hear, he practices day and night as hard as he possibly can to be as good as he can, you know, and it's really starting to show, especially when he's running with drivers that have so much more experience than he does. He holds his own very well.
Yeah, Tyler, like I said, Tyler, he's pretty consistent, and you know, just keeps the car clean. Unless something happens in front of him, he's usually there at the end. So we'll keep an eye on him and see how he does and keep marching his way up.
Well, and you remember his first GT3 race with our league, he had an internet issue at house.
Yep.
And came back 3 laps down and had 0 incidents the entire race, which is extremely hard to do.
Yeah. Watching this battle here, yeah, it looked like maybe a little bit, maybe Peyton got into Mark Retchen a little bit to go past him, or they were talking about it there. I just barely caught it, so but they're both on track. They're still going.
Yeah, and Peyton's in I think it's 54 machine. He's got like a little plaid look to it. I love the look of his car. You know, it kind of reminds you of like a Neanderthal kind of look, you know, a Bigfoot kind of feel to it.
Right. It kind of looks like to me that Steven Salas is in 4th.
Yep.
It looks like he's slowly but surely catching Stryker. I mean, the gap looks a little bit smaller, but we'll keep an eye on it and see.
Let me put up I got a cool little feature here that show differences, but since I've changed all this around, it's hard to keep track of it.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Kind of like a relative type deal.
Yeah. Put it right there.
Well,
at the bottom.
first in the GTP is James Pierce, and then you got Thad Marshall, then Michael Strickland, Steven Salas fourth, Peyton Sweet fifth, Chris Roberge is sixth. You got Nathan Biggert first in the GT3, with following by Kobe Hartung and David Steiner, your top three. Michael Caffrey fourth, Mark Retchen fifth. Then you got Grayson Lucas in the GTP. It has him scored 12th.
Which would be 7th.
Yep.
A lap down.
Yep. And then Mark Odell would be 8th in his class. Is Mark Odell on the track? I don't think so.
He is not.
Okay. But it looks like we got 6 cars on the lead lap. Nathan Biggert would be your first car lap down, followed by Colby, David Steiner, Caffrey, Retchen, Lucas, McLuhan, Anthony DeMonte, Tyler Hammond would be 2 laps down, followed by Noah Blackwell 2 laps down, and Wesley Straight 8 laps down. Oh, did something happen to James Pierce?
It did. We're going to go back to it. I just caught that myself.
Yep, so did I.
Let's go see what happened. Oh, spun it and hit the wall.
Yeah, that gives Thad Marshall a little bit of closing ground there, so might be having a battle here after a bit.
We were calling it earlier. You know, we're like, hey man, he's super fast and super aggressive. It doesn't take much for an accident to happen, and I thought eventually it probably would. The only difference is this guy he's very, 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 very fast, so he can afford to make mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's gonna, you'll feel comfortable, and then you'll push it a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then, finally something happens. You got to back it back down. I mean, you think you got it all, situated, and then boom, one small wrong braking move, or braking spot or anything like that, and you're gonna be putting it in the ground.
Yeah, we literally just jumped in his car, and we see him cut right through the grass. And if you look behind him, Marshall is on him with a head full of steam as they come rolling into this bus stop. Oh, he's going to jump into the pits. So Brandon Marshall takes over the lead in the GTP class. The Striker's going to be about 10 seconds behind, which seems like a lot, but with these cars, he can reel Pierce in very quickly in no time.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like we got Marshall taking over the lead from Pierce. Did Pierce maybe get some damage from that, or did he just spin out and not hit anything?
No, he did tap the wall with his nose, so he's going to be in the pits, get his repairs done, and he'll get back out there. Stopped on me, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Bear with me, folks, as we get this bad boy back up and going. It happens from time to time.
As you see Pierce coming out of the pits now, so he's still running second. We'll see if he can make up some ground on Thad Marshall. Yeah, I'm guessing Wesley Straight probably going to be done for the day.
He's back in the pits.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the pits. So
let's put the camera on old Tyler Ham and see what the young man could do as I address the issue that we have on hand here. for SDK is. I'll get her fixed later.
Mark Odell is on track too. Not sure if he came out sometime soon or if he's been on the track the whole time, but yeah, he's running 18th, 10 laps down. So good to see Mark out there.
Yeah, Mark's there we go. We got the overlays back up. No harm, no foul. We're back at it. I just had to reload everything. Not a big deal.
Ryan, James Pierce is back in, pulled back into the pits again. Maybe not get all that damage fixed or something, or having issues with the car for sure.
Well, the back axle is crabbed out. The left rear the tire was angled in toward the car. He had to have taken a ton of damage there. The question is he going to use the fast repair, or is he going to just stay there and do the optional stuff? Not look good for him, as Marshall still resumes the lead and Strikers within 12 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. James Pierce is back to 6th place. You know, you'd think at this point, just take the fast repair and get stuff fixed and get back out there and try to gain ground.
You know, you would think so, but you know, these guys always have different strategies.
We'll keep an eye on him and see what happens. So that moves Striker up to 2nd. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, the only issue with you know, Striker sitting in 2nd is Marshall his best lap was 1 minute 31 seconds, 1:31.80. Strikers is 1:33.50. So I mean, it's 2 seconds off pace. And James Pierce, his best lap was 1:31.21. So I mean, Marshall's just slightly slower than Pierce's, but at this rate now, if Pierce gets lapped too many times, he's not going to be able to make that up.
Yeah, for sure. It currently looks like he's still on the lead lap. So he's back in 6th and try to keep himself from going a lap down. But you know, like you were saying, you know, a turtle and a rabbit, low and steady wins the race, dude. So if you know the track, even if you know the track, you know, be steady and be consistent. Doesn't look like Salas about went off track a little bit, but he's still going.
Yeah, he's rolling. I mean, the GTPs are all rolling. I'm gonna cycle through some of these cars here. Let's see where the action.
Got Grayson Lucas back in the pits again, running 14th. James Pierce is still in the pits. He's now a lap down. But
like you said, slow and steady wins the race. Just because these guys are sitting in pits now does not mean that your leaders cannot make the same mistakes that these gentlemen made. And you know, it could flip the script very quick. I'm just shocked that all of this has happened, you know, this
early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This early, yeah. Well, I mean, it's better to happen now than later on in the race. But at least now he still has plenty of time to try to catch back up.
I mean, think about it, man. We're only 30 minutes into this race. 30 minutes. We still have an entire hour. You know, what is going to transition in the next hour? I mean, 30 minutes there, we've already had a ton of action, you know, when it comes to accidents. So
yeah, if you want something to happen to your car, you want it to happen early as possible, you know. So unfortunately it happened for James, and but he's got a good hour to try to make up some ground.
Well, and one of the things I'm noticing outside the start of the race, it's all the GTPs that are really hurting right now. So will it happen to the GT3s? Are they just being too conservative? Are they not running as fast? That's why they're not having the mistakes. I mean, there's so many things that can count on, you know, why the race is going the way the race is going.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if they're, you know, maybe pushing the cars a little bit more than the GT3 guys, but either way, I mean, we're having issues, but we're having them early, so.
Right, and I think this is a perfect time to tell you this is ChopShop Racing Road Course Edition, and it's sponsored by Virtual Velocity Racing. Virtual Velocity Racing, the owner is Tim Lee. Their Facebook group to join, to join that league is in the description below on YouTube. Um, they run a next gen series, and they normally have a pretty stacked field. They start about 7:30, have practice, do a qualifying, and they're out racing. I normally have that on hand, but I was trying to fix FDK, so kind of got a little side.
I'm not sure. There must be really something wrong with Pierce. He's still in the pits, so.
Normally, I would bring the driver up and ask him, but I've learned that during moments like this, probably not best to talk to him. Probably not too happy.
No, it looks like the majority of them. I mean, considering they're all just cruising and spaced out, would be a perfect time to do it. But I mean, a lot of them look like they kind of got their hands full.
All right, here we go. So they run a Cup Series on Thursday nights. Their practice starts at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and they have a 5-minute qualifying session that starts about 8:25. And then they're racing after qualifying. If you're interested, head over to Virtual Velocity Racing, the group on Facebook. The link, like I said, is in the description. You can ask for the owner, Tim Lee, and he'll hook you up with anything you need to know and get you signed up, and you can go run a next gen with him.
Yeah, for sure. Tim Lee and those guys over there do a great job. Never ran in any of their league races, but it's crossed my mind, so maybe we'll do something in the future. But looks like we had getting ready to have a battle with Steven Salas running third, and Peyton Sweet running fourth in the GTP cars. So Peyton's gaining a little bit of ground on Steven. See if there's going to be a battle here soon.
Let's go right on board with Sweet here and see what his plan is to overtake Salas. Looks like Peyton didn't get as well of a run onto the track as Salas did. Salas just kind of checked out there.
Got Retchen, Mark Retchen's up to 10th place, so that turtle walk is really paying off.
Yeah, Retchen's up 5 positions in that Audi, and doing a phenomenal job. He currently sits 5th place as he goes through the bus stop area, and he's just light on the throttle. He did get a new steering wheel and pedals, and I guess I don't know if he got pedals or not. I think he did, but he got a whole new setup. So it's good to see him out here and doing the laps that he's doing. Last lap he ran a 1:46.776. I mean, he's rolling, which was his fastest lap.
Cool. Good to see Retchen doing well. With new and better equipment, seems to make you a little bit faster.
Well, here's a good update for you. I don't know if you noticed, but Marco Dell is back on the track. I don't know if he had connectivity problems and he had to leave the session, come back, but he's back there. He's already up a position from Wesley, which Wesley dropped out. So it's good to see Odell back out there in that Cadillac getting after it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, you just said connectivity issues. It looks like Peyton Sweet right now is having some really bad connection issues. He's yet to be able to stop his in and out blinking, but yeah, something's going on with him.
Yeah, the race control's going to have to get on him about that. You can't have a super fast GTP car. Yeah, I'm watching him right now, and it just keeps blinking in and out. That's crazy.
Yep. That's too bad too, because he's running what, 4th?
Yeah.
And I don't see him anymore.
Yeah, I'm looking in the relative on reading all the times and everything on live timing. He's just flash in, flash out, flash in, flash out, flash in, flash out. Yep. We got Retchen pulling into the pits. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary that could have happened as he pulls back on it. He might have just gassed and go.
Yeah, maybe it was just a scheduled pit stop. Not sure how long these guys will be able to go here before we start seeing pit stops.
Well, this is what Tyler Hammond wanted to see, was Retchen get in there, because him and Retchen are both a lap down, and Hammond is already up 4 positions from being involved. Was he involved in that accident? I believe he was, wasn't he?
Say that again.
Tyler Hammond was involved in that accident to begin with, wasn't he?
not for sure. I want to say yes, but then again, I want to say no.
Well, he's sitting 8th right now. He's up 4 positions. He's making away. Yeah, his last lap was a 148.30 or 148.49. His best lap was a 147.94. So I mean, he's making good time, and it looks like behind is that Caffrey making it? Yep, that's Caffrey coming up behind him. You know, he'll have to keep pushing forward. Caffrey just likes passing cars. He doesn't care if he's 70 laps down or on the lead lap. He likes passing.
Yeah, for sure. Caffrey's, you know, he's pretty fast, and you know, he's one of those guys too. He's more of an aggressive driver, but then again, he's one that just kind of sits back and then waits towards the end, and you always see him up there.
One of 2 Australians in the race. David Steiner would be your other one. Team Dominate. Australian boys putting in the work as they sit 3-4 on the track.
As we see Michael Strickland running second, going around Kobe Hartung right there. Kobe did the right thing and just let him on by.
You know, one thing we got pushed that it is not the GT3's responsibility to get out of the way of the GTPs. It is the GTP's responsibility to make a clean pass.
Yes. Yep.
People tend to forget that, so I like to push that on.
Next week, I kind of looked this week, and I was gonna get more information on the GT3 cars, individual cars, and the GTPs. We wasn't able to find a whole lot, so I'll get some for next race, and we'll get some more car specs. You could say. I do know the GTP cars. I'm guessing that the ones that they're driving, just started up the IMSA this year, so they're a new car.
That would be really cool. We ride on board with Peyton Sweet as he cracks down. Trying to figure out who that is. I think it is Colby Hart. It is Colby. Just want to drive around from the outside like it was nothing.
Got Mark Retchen going around. David Steiner, it looks like, or maybe that might be David Steiner going around Mark Retchen, but that's not for position. So we're good.
Yeah, so we got Retchen a lap down, Hammond a lap down, Blackwell a lap down. We got Straight 12 laps down, and I mean Straight's just sitting in the pits. Listen, man, he's been really struggling this season. I really hate to see it for the guy. But that's racing, man. You just sometimes luck's with you and it isn't. Sometimes it's just not with you at all.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you have connection issues or something like that. But run off your top 3 here for each class. You got Thad Marshall, Michael Strickland, and Peyton Sweet. Your top 3 for GTPs. And then you've got Nathan Biggert, Kobe Hartung, and David Steiner. Your top 3 for the GT3 cars.
Yeah, Biggert's been wanting this. He's the last few races, I think he's finished just outside of, the interview sets in the top 2. He's either been 3rd or 4th, he loves this track though, and he's really, really good at it.
Yeah, Biggert's really good at the road racing, especially here at Daytona. He's currently leading his class, so we'll see if Kobe can make any ground, or even David Steiner.
Colby's 7.5 seconds behind him right now, and Biggert continues to pull on him. So maybe Colby didn't hit the nail on the head, so to speak, when it comes to the setup for that BMW.
That could be. When do they? When should we expect to see any pit stops, or if any?
Well, I mean, we got Lucas in the pits, we got Anthony Damani in the pits, and Wesley Straight still in the pits. So I think they've already kind of went through a small cycle. Let me pull up it. We can find out what's left. So altogether, you're right. They haven't really went through. Gretchen's made a stop. Damani's made a stop. Straight's made a stop. in the GT3s. And then Lucas has made a stop, Pierce has made a stop, and Salas has made a stop in the GTPs. So we haven't hit that spot yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. And we are 38 minutes in.
38. Report 39. Your leader in the GT3s, Nathan Biggert. Your leader in the GTPs. Dude, I gotta figure out that name. Thaddeus. I think it's Thaddeus Marshall.
Status maybe. Yeah.
Thaddeus.
You
never know.
Looks like we got Anthony DeMonte rolling out of the pits. So and I was going to talk about that too. The where you come out of pits at and where it comes onto the track, you got to be careful because by looking at it, you can't really see if any cars are coming out of the track or down the track when you're coming out of pits. So when you get close to that pit exit, just be careful with people merging over.
Yeah, it's kind of a blind spot, so you got to be really careful. Did Mr. Sweet get his blinking under control? Looks like
he did. Yep. Looks like.
Oh, he got a little loose there coming off that corner. One of the things is even if you have too many apps running at once, he is loose all over the place. Those rear tires are just breaking free. I know with these GTPs, you got to be really careful on throttle management.
Yeah, for sure, and especially right now, when the tires are starting to wear out, careful on that throttle or you're going to loop around.
We got Roberts under fire right now with Odell. Odell's just trying to work his way back up. These two are just running as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, Roberts is having a really good race. He's currently running fourth.
And you could just see as we ride along with Mark Odell how hard he's getting on the brakes. He's trying to keep the car straight as they come onto the main track. He's just going to go through the gears. He's sitting in the back trying to get in that draft and just get as much speed as he possibly can as they approach the bus stop.
The bus stop. Sometimes I wonder how they get some of these names.
It has to be a road course thing,
Yeah. I'm guessing you take that short corner and then you kind of stop and then you go around the other way. I don't know.
Odell's going to bump underneath reverse here. Keep moving forward. Who's in front of him? These guys are so spread out. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, we just had Stryker go around Noah Blackwell. That wasn't for position, but he made a clean pass.
Ooh. Odell gets right up to the rear end of Marshall. Odell's cracking Marshall down really hard. Nope, that's not Marshall. Who is it? Cycle through. Oh,
yeah,
I bet it's Lucas. It's Lucas that Odell's cracking down. Poor Lucas. Finally gets out of the pits, and now he's going to get pressured by Odell.
Yeah, maybe Odell found something because he's up 2 positions now from where he was in 18th. Maybe he's just getting comfortable with the car and everything, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Lucas is going to run as hard as he possibly can to stay in front of him. But Odell doesn't play no games, man. That guy runs hard and he's consistent.
Yeah, with Lucas and Odell battling each other there, as you can see, it's letting Chris Roberts kind of catch up to him.
Hey, Roberts loves that. You can just see from the backside of Lucas. Odell's there. He's going to make the move to the outside, and he's going to try getting as much steam. And Lucas is trying to hold his own here. Neither one of these drivers giving it up. They're going to go 3 wide right here.
Yeah, it was good of Kobe to kind of let him by there. He's seen him in his mirror side by side, and so there had to be something fast acting. Good thing it happened straight away.
Odell lifts back down on the inside. He's going to get the benefit coming into the bus stop. He's going to hold his brakes. He's going to get, and Lucas is going to get a good runoff, but it ain't going to be enough to get around back to Odell.
Well, Nate Biggert's been pretty quiet this race. We were talking about how good he is at this track. He's currently 2 laps down. I mean, he is leading the GT3 class, but he's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, remember, he's 2 laps down to the GTPs, not 2 laps down to his own GT3s.
Yep.
And he's going to be under fire here with these GTPs rapidly catching up to him.
Yeah, Tyler Hammond up another spot too in 12th from 13th. So
woo, Hammond, baby. 5 positions. What a guy, man. This kid has talent.
yeah, he really does.
I did joke around with him a little bit. I don't know, like a week ago or so. I'm like, oh, did you learn all this from your old man? He goes, no, I had to figure it out myself. I don't know if that's BS or not, but his old man can hold his own too on these tracks.
Got a really good battle here, Ryan. It's that Fattest Marshall in the lead and James Pierce, and they're both in GTP cars. So we might want to watch this battle because it might be interesting.
So it looks like James Pierce finally got all of his ducks in a row. Oh, they're both pitting at the exact same time.
Both of them in the pits. You got the leader in the pits, and you got James Pierce.
And Pierce is 6 laps down. I mean, how do you overcome those odds? I don't know if it's possible. But their paint schemes are the same. I do believe they're teammates. So, you know, if one guy wins and the other guy doesn't, you know, typically the guy that doesn't always roots on, you know, a fellow team.
Yeah, sure. So I'm guessing possibly that's going to give Strickland the lead.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's 37 seconds off pace, but he's coming up on pits, and he is rapidly cutting that time down.
Micro celebrities.
Correct. Stryker leads the field. GTPs. You know, it was only a matter of time before he got that Cadillac up there. You know, I don't think he's pitted yet. Let's take
Chris Robert's up another spot. Easy in your top 3.
So Stryker still needs to pit, and Roberts need to pit, and so does Odell. Odell, obviously, he could probably go a ways before he needs to. I'm assuming they're just fuel stops. So I would assume the GT3s aren't going to be too far behind them.
Gotcha. That might be interesting when it comes to the rest of that. It sounds like everybody's almost pitted besides those few. But, you know, this GT3 class is really tight in the race, so anything could happen.
You know, we're about 10 minutes off the hour mark, and then we got another 30 to go. So, again, I don't know if... I would assume they could probably make 25, 30 laps on the tank somewhere in there, maybe?
You know, Ryan, I kind of got a little bit of a hypothesis, I guess you could say. You see Thaddeus Marshall out here and James Pierce. They both came back on track at roughly the same time. You got Thaddeus leading. You got James Pierce running behind him so many laps down. Do you think James Pierce is out there trying to follow him around to keep blocking or something?
You know, I don't believe so. I think, in my eyes, that would be a dirty move. Because what's the benefit? I mean, Thaddeus is pretty quick on his own. But, well, you see Pierce duck down low to get around him to get a lap back. So. All
right. Well, my hypothesis was wrong.
It was a little off.
Yeah.
Paint Sweet running third. He's going to go around.
You got Steven Solis running 5th here, going around David Steiner in the GT3 car. Not for position, but Steiner's running 8th, and Solis is running 5th, which, yep, 5th place.
Yeah, so what we got is Marshall, Strickland, Sweet, 1, 2, 3 in the GTPs. Then we got Bigger, Hartung, and Steiner, 1, 2, 3 in the GT3s. Hartung's 10 seconds behind Bigger, Steiner's 20 seconds, and Caffrey's 48 seconds. So,
lap big gap.
Yeah. You know, and normally we see Gene up there, so it's nice to see different drivers start to make their way back up. And it looks like Stryker is going to take his pit stop. Just got back out, so I was a little late on that call.
Yeah, I was going to say something when you got done talking there that he was rolling out of the pits, but you caught it.
Yep, yeah, probably just a gas and go and get back out there. You know, he got some points for leading some laps, and you know, points is what makes the difference at the end of the series. This is a crown jewel, so anything can happen.
Yeah, speaking of the crown jewel, the awards they're trying to go for a crown jewel race. I know first place is a ChopShop garage flag. Second place is like a tumbler, those cups. Imagine it'll be all designed in like ChopShop or whatnot. And then third place is your refund, your money back. So. And that's for the top 3 at the end of the season for the crown jewel standings.
That's awesome. I like it. Who doesn't want money, especially money you spent to race in a league and they give it back to you? I mean, that's awesome.
Give it back to you. Yeah. No, that's just pretty cool though that ChopShop it does something like that. You know, it just makes it a little bit extra fun. So it'd be interesting. This is the first one, then we'll have 2 more after that.
We see both Pierce and Marshall go around. I believe that was Steiner.
Caffrey.
See? You're on it, buddy. Gunning after my job.
Yeah, I was kind of watching it as you were talking about it. I was on him. Hey, that Kobe Hartung coming into pits. Running 7th, which he's running 2nd in his class.
See any jacks going up or down on that car, so he's just feeling her up and getting her back going. That's, you know, and like we talked last week, you know, tires they wear in a funky way around these tracks. And as he's sitting in the pits, Steiner's going to take that 2nd place position.
Yeah, Mark Odell's coming back out of pits. He did his pit stop. He's running 16th. So I'm guessing just fuel. Seems like none of these guys are really taking tires.
You know who's picking them off? Tyler Hammond. He was up 4 positions. He's now up 5 positions, sitting in 7th place, still a lap down, hunting down Retchen. You know, don't count him out. Don't count him out. It ain't over.
Yep, just taking it easy. And you know, you can gain a lot of spots by just being smooth.
I'm sure B&B is excited right now that he's doing as well as he is. You know, unfortunate at the beginning, but your grandson's making some moves, B&B.
He's having that truck that it seems like, you know, the first couple races we've had, he always has beginning bad luck, and then he's got to fight back. Oh, we got somebody spun out. It looks like
Odell.
Noah Blackwell.
Yeah, I think Odell got into him. Let's go back and take a look. Here comes the corner. Oh, he spun on his own.
Spun on his own. Let's
go check, see what happened. Black.
No, what I was saying about Tyler is it seems like the beginning of every race he has some sort of troubles, but then he's got to fight back the rest of the race. You know, I'd be really exciting to see if he would just have a good beginning.
So get this, Noah Blackwell spun out in the corner all on his own. It seems to be a common trait around here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was parked in the middle of the corner, and Stryker just barely squeaks by. Let's go back here. Let's get a closer view.
Yeah, we got Caffrey pulling in the pits now too. He's running 8th, and running 3rd in his class. Caffrey in the pits.
Who was that? The 54. So that was sweet. That got into Blackwell as he sitting in the middle of the track. Hopefully he didn't take too much damage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we're gonna look over the standings here. It looks like we're getting more people pitting. Steiner was rolling out that I seen.
Yeah, so here's how it stands. Everybody has made a pit stop except for Gene and Noah Blackwell. Oh no, I scratched that. And Tyler Hammond also hasn't made a pit stop yet. So those three are the only three drivers that have not made a pit stop yet. I don't know if they have a different pit strategy, fuel strategy, or if they've just been saving enough over the course of their run.
You make it all the way without pitting?
No way.
No, I didn't think so. I mean, but
That'd be interesting if you could, though. Hey.
oh man.
So we got how many positions they're up? We got Pierce is down 5. Roberts and Salas is up 2. Then GT3s, we got Hammond, the biggest mover of the race so far, up 3 after
awesome.
the pit cycles. But he has not pitted yet, so it'll be interesting to see where that turns out.
As we've seen, go back to it. Peyton Sweet, I believe. Yeah, Peyton Sweet going out around Tyler there.
Yep. And so if you want to put this in perspective, these GTPs are running 200 mile an hour on average, 205, 198. The GT3s, they're all running consistent 177s. It looks like Noah Blackwell had the fastest speed at 180 miles an hour in 8th place. So that could have been with the draft. Steiner's at 179. Bigger, he's only cruising at 173 and he's leading the race. So that tells you, slow and steady, baby.
We've got a cluster inside in pit road right now. We got Noah Blackwell that just pulled in, Gene McClune that's in, and Anthony Namani that's in. So there's 3 guys right there.
Yeah, they're all sitting in the pits, filling them up. And they're all in the same area, which is really cool.
Yeah. Looks like James Pierce and Thad Marshall. Looks like they're still next to each other.
It looks like Pierce got around Marshall there, so Marshall's still racing him hard too, which is really funny that the teammates are just going to push each other that hard, regardless if Pierce is 5 laps down.
Yeah, for sure. Not really much change in the standings. Your top 3 is Thaddeus Marshall running first in the GTP, Stryker second, and Peyton Sweet third. For the GT3s, it's Biggert, Kobe, and David Steiner, your top 3.
Well, and if you didn't notice, Retchen's also back on the lead lap, so.
Uh-oh.
Very good for him.
Yeah, he's running 11th right now. 6th place in his class.
Tyler Hammond finally getting into his pit stall to gas that bad boy up, make another good run at it. Maybe he can't get to the top 4, even the top 3.
Hey Ryan, we might have a battle here coming up. Got Noah Blackwell running 13th and Anthony Namani running 14th. A little bit more gap now than they were just a few seconds ago, but could be something to watch.
Jump on board with Noah Blackwell and look back there, and you can see Anthony Namani got the eye of the tiger, and he runs it real deep, downshifts as fast as he can, just get back on the throttle and move back forward.
Got some radio chatter. Not sure what they're talking about, but between Sweet and Grace and Lucas. Steven Salwith still running that 4th position.
We're at an hour in. We got 30 minutes to go. I would assume everything's going to be picking up very, very soon.
Yeah. Now's the time to go. Everybody's pitted, and now it's just to bring it home.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break before we get this 30-minute stint in. Give us about 5 minutes, not even, and we'll come back and we'll see how everybody's lined out. And stay tuned.
We'll run down your standings here. It looks like Thaddeus Marshall's running first, Stryker second, Peyton Sweet third, Steven Salas fourth, Chris Roberts is fifth. Running first in the GT3 is Nathan Biggert, Covey Harton second, David Steiner third, Michael Caffrey fourth, fifth is Gene McClune, sixth is Mark Retchen, seventh is Tyler Hammond in the GT3 class, Noah Blackwell eighth, Anthony Money ninth. Looks like James Pierce will be sixth in GTP class, and then it'll be Mark Odell and then Grayson Lucas. Winding down here, about a half hour left. Be exciting to see if anybody that didn't take any tires, if the tires will affect them towards the end here. Track temperature is 79 degrees, so it climbed a couple degrees there towards the beginning of the race. It was 72, now it's 79. The temperature's 73, so the track's pretty cool. But yeah, Virtual Velocity Racing, Tim Lee, go check him out if you haven't. Tim's a great guy. Virtual Velocity VVR is a good league. We get the opportunity, they give us the opportunity to broadcast this for him, and we couldn't thank him enough. Also, ChopShop runs not just road racing. We run asphalt ovals. We run dirt. The dirt leagues are on Monday evenings. We have trucks on Tuesday evenings. This road series is on Wednesday. Thursday is open, and Friday is Cup Series. And then Sunday we have our super late model series. So plenty of things to get into if anybody's interested. Come on over. Ryan had to run somewhere real quick, so just kind of everybody. Just listen to those cars, though. They just sound so cool. There you see Thaddeus Marshall. He is currently your leader. Looks like Stryker's behind him at 52 seconds back. So bearing anything happening, I think Thaddeus Marshall would have this locked up, but you never know.
All right, I am back. I had a kid try to escape the house. I had to run after him real quick, so glad you were here. I did overhear you talking about sponsors. I did want to mention a lot of our sponsors. Our Sweet Overlay. Obviously, you can see the tower right here. It has both classes split in half. That was all provided by Jason over at Signature Esports. He's our premier broadcaster for our league. He literally broadcasts every race we do except for our road series. He's busy tonight doing another league's race. So Jason, shout out to you, brother. We couldn't do any of this without you. Thanks for being a partner with Chop Shop. Thanks for the overlay. It looks sweet. I hope the folks at home are enjoying it. We love it. And being there.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like we're going to have a battle for second place, as Michael Strickland running second and Peyton Sweet is gaining on him running third.
Yeah, we'll switch the camera back here to the face. You can see him far in the distance closing it in. trying everything he can, get as much as he can out of it to reel in Strickland here.
Yeah, Peyton Sweet might have got into the grass a little bit or made a bad corner there because he was a lot closer than that. But after they exited that corner, Stryker pulled on him. So maybe a bad corner for Sweet on that one.
Well, I mean, you could definitely see Stryker pushing as hard as he can. I mean, I've seen him dip a couple tires off into the grass, get a little loose, straighten her back out, mash on the gas. Peyton's also back there. He went to the bus stop as hard as he possibly could in that car to keep it straight. And Stryker's going to start pulling on him a little bit here.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we have another battle on the track. Anthony Damani, 15th, and Noah Blackwell, 14th. Anthony's looking to take that away from Noah.
Yeah, and he is hot on his heels right now as they go on to the main portion of the track. This is where all their speeds gain. As you can see, Noah Blackwell, or Anthony Damani, utilize that draft on Anthony Blackwell. He's going to duck onto the bottom side here. It's all going to be a breaking point. This is where all your positions can be made in the snap of a finger.
Or lost.
Or lost. That's a good point.
It just takes a little mess up, and these guys will catch you.
I mean, he's not letting up though. I mean, Anthony Damani's hot on his heels, and Blackwell's just trying to get him off of his rear, and it's not happening. He's not giving up in that Red Bull machine.
As you see, Mark Retchen, he's running 11th. He's doing good. He's running 11th. He's keeping the car clean. He's slowly but surely picking them away, kind of like Tyler Hammer.
As always, we can't do any of this without our sponsors. C2 Gaming, My Three Sons, Track Racer, the Ball of Status Boys, Speedy Trophies, Admin Logs, Geomax, Virtual Velocity, MCI Graphics, Daytona Sports, Signature Esports. All of these guys play a crucial part in everything we do. And this stuff ain't free; it takes money. So, it's every penny helps.
Yeah, we can't thank them enough. All of them. Jason with Signature Esports and Tim Lee with Virtual Velocity. Any of those guys, any of our sponsors, we couldn't do this without you.
James Pierce has lost 11 positions. 5 laps down. Odell's gotten around Lucas. Lucas and Odell are both 11 laps down, and Odell's already gotten around him. And Odell was out right out of the gate. So for him to get back on track and just put the pedal to the metal and push that thing to the edge is amazing.
Yeah, he's really got on the car since he's been out on the track. Looked like Strickland might have took the corner a little hot. He kind of got off track a little bit.
We got Brian Lucas with a wreck here. Stryker was right behind him. Oh, Stryker gave him a nose. Said, "Get out of my way, son. I got something to do." Tore up the whole rear end of that Lightyear car.
That's what it was. It looked like Stryker went off track a little bit. Wasn't for sure what happened, but that explains everything.
Stryker has places to go, people to see, and he wasn't putting up with it. And Sweet ended up getting by Stryker for that second place position. Stryker's going to try getting everything back together and in line, get his composure back and chase down Sweet.
Yeah, I'm guessing that must have happened when he had to slow up for getting on the back of him there. So it gave Sweet the position. Like I said, one little mess up and somebody else can capitalize. James Pierce and Thaddeus Marshall still around each other anyway on the track. I thought they were separated for good there, but I guess not.
No, they're teammates. They're going to be. And we're on board with Stryker right now that is on paint so close you can't even put a piece of paper in between these cars.
It's some good battling.
He brakes a little early coming into bus stops so he can get into the corner nice and easy and then get back on the throttle as hard as he possibly can. Sweet's going to go up. He gets a little loose coming off. He gains a little ground on Striker, but not a ton. They have 2 or 3 GT3 cars right in front of them. So these GT3 cars also play a major role in these GTPs when it comes to passing each other, because I mean you gotta drive around them.
Oh, we got some breaking news. First breaking news of the night. Mark Odell took it to the trailer. Not sure what happened, if something happened to him, or if he just called it a night. But it looks like he's done for the day.
Dang man, I hate to see that, but let's race. He put up a good fight. Hopefully we get to see him on the next race.
Yeah, for sure. Sad to see Mark Odell take her home,
I tell you what, this is the race right here. It's Striker and Sweet. I mean, Striker's almost bumping him down the stretch here. So I mean, he's trying to get Sweet to make any mistake he possibly can without making a mistake himself, which is the best part about watching these road course races.
Yeah, it looked like Sweet pulled away from him just a little bit there, coming onto the straightaway. But Striker seems to gain a lot of ground when they get ready to brake to come into the corner.
Yeah, we got a Porsche versus a Cadillac, interstellar dominance.
Braking to go into the corner.
I never noticed this until now. We're riding on the bumper here of Sweet. There's openings on the 2 front fenders of these GTP cars where you can see the tires. I don't know if that's for water, keep the tires cool, or what they're for exactly, but it's really neat feature.
Yeah, I'll have to look. Like I said, I was going to look this stuff up. I'll have it for next race, and we'll find out. It might be just for some air or something.
Yeah, as Striker and Sweet run around
Bigger
here. Yep. Bigger's one of those guys that doesn't get pushed around either. He'll hold his line and he'll make you pass him where he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, it's good of Bigger to just kind of slow up and let those guys by. He knew they were running for position, so good job with Nate Bigger.
So, as we stand, we got Marshall in first, Sweet in second, Strickland in third, Solis in fourth, Roberts in fifth, Pearson fifth, or sixth, I'm sorry, Odell in seventh, Lucas in eighth. As for the GT3 class, we got Bigger in first, second is Hartung, third is Steiner, fourth is Caffrey, fifth is Gene, sixth is Retchen, seventh is Tyler Hammond, eighth is Noah Blackwell, ninth is Anthony DeMonte, and 10th is Wesley Strait.
Not the only battle on the track right now is that one between Sweet and Striker. Everybody else is just cruising.
Let's ride on board with Striker as he comes down. Both very equal guys. Oh, Striker's going to try taking it wide. He's going to dive down low, try to get that inside run. He's going to pull up on Sweet. Sweet's going to hammer the gas on the outside and pull him just a little bit down this little straightaway.
Man, what a battle, dude, between these GTP cars. Really fun to watch, and you just see how hard Striker's trying to get by him. And then they come out of the corner, and this lap traffic as we're coming up on Tyler Hammond here.
Yeah, they're going to try and make it a clean pass around Tyler Hammond. Tyler Hammond's going to hold his own and take that bottom of the lane away from Sweet. And Striker's going to try to capitalize on it, but gets stuck behind Hammond. Goes up back to the top side, back chasing down Sweet.
Yeah, it was really good of Striker to use focus there. And when Sweet got on the brakes with Tyler Hammond was just in the way there, Striker waited and then went out around Tyler Hammond.
And, one of the things I'm noticing, in the bus stop, Striker's braking a little earlier than Sweet is. But most of the other corners, Striker's running in deeper into the corners, and Sweet is running in deeper. So it almost cancels themselves out. But like we just seen, when they get around these GT3 cars is when Striker's going to have to make his move, and then he's going to have to use those GT3 cars
For a pick,
right?
Yep. No, these GT3 cars are doing a really good job of letting these guys battle it out and try not to cause any more issues than just letting them by.
I mean, you could just see how hungry Striker is for the second place. I mean, every position is like first place. if you ask him, he's not happy about finishing second ever, because it seems like that's where he always finishes. But what a performance. What a show these two are putting on for us.
Yeah, really good show, battle. Be kind of curious to see if Stryker can get by him here. He's making it pretty tough.
You know, we have two biggest movers right now, and that's Tyler Hammond in the Tiger car and that cracking sweet paint job Porsche. And then we have Caffrey in a Mercedes and the Team Dominate car. He's also up for positions, as he sits in fourth right now, and Hammond sits in seventh.
Nice.
The time is winding down, man. We're getting close. You know, we're within 13 minutes of this race being over. What do you think we can expect from these drivers in the next 13 minutes?
Send it. Full send. I mean, all these guys are doing a great job. The gaps between everybody's a pretty big margin. And so, I mean, there's a couple battles out there. It'd be like that second place one between Stryker and Sweet. And there's a couple other ones that, you know, I'd be pretty happy with just finishing where they did. And, you know, if I was them, I'd be proud.
Oh, I mean, 100%. These guys are giving it everything they got. Let's go up here. So you can see it's going to go by some, I think. Oh, it's going to have to go by sectors. So Stryker just smidge slower in some of these sectors. I believe that he's plus 0.433, plus 1 or 0.013, and plus 0.034. He's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, he's fallen up. He's slowed up a little bit. But,
my guess is he's cooling the tires off. As you can see in sector 4, which is his fastest part, you know, 0.195 faster, and that's where he gains all of his ground.
Yeah, he definitely, Stryker gains on him, gets on his back bumper. But then when Peyton Sweet gets to that straightaway, it seems like he pulls on him just a little bit. So it's a game of cat and mouse, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
It'll be interesting to see if Stryker was yet faster again in sector 5 by 0.311. So I mean, he reels them in really good. You know, maybe those first 3 sectors, you know, isn't Stryker's strong suit. This is something he'll go back and he'll watch again, and he'll find out where he's slow, where he's fast, and where he needs to. It looks like he slipped up there because he fell off 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, towards the exit of pit road, that corner there, when they were going through there, it looked like something happened. Maybe brake not soon enough or brake too much or something, but he did fall off.
Well, one thing we know about Strickland is he don't quit.
No.
He does not.
No, that's all these guys out here. None of them quit. All of them, you know, try their best, and you know, and it shows. It really does. Oretchen in 12th, having a great race for himself.
Well, but it worked.
Once again, Steven Salas running 4th. And it looks like he's in the pits.
In the pits, yeah. I don't know if that was a scheduled stop or not. You know, maybe he got into a little shuffle, but he's there.
There, he's rolling back out. He's rolling back out now, so.
And I thought this was going to be a night, definitely overcast.
Yeah, would have been fun to have a night race and to see all the cool lights and everything. But
you know it's coming. I mean, Roberts is starting to reel in Salas coming out of the pits here. I don't know again if that was a scheduled pit stop or not, but it will be for position.
Yeah, track's getting a little slicker, or getting a little hotter too. It went from 79 to 84, so it's getting a little bit hotter. Now it's starting to climb a little bit.
You know, I'm looking at Roberts right now. You know what I notice about him? He hasn't lost his back spoiler. Last week he lost that.
Hey, well, you know what he said too when we interviewed him, that it really didn't affect his handling when we thought it really was going to affect his handling. So maybe that spoiler really doesn't play a big part. I thought it would.
Yeah, we're coming up to about 9 minutes left in this race.
9 minutes to go.
9 minutes. And Striker and Sweet, this is where the race is going to get interesting. We got Nathan Bigger has a 22-second gap on hard ton. And Steiner is roughly 8 seconds behind hard ton. So that could be another battle forming up here shortly too. But if I know one thing about Colby, Colby's not going to give it away.
No, Colby, no. No, Colby's that one that he that's his position and nobody else is going to take it from him. And if you are going to take it from him, you're going to have to earn it.
You know, Striker's sitting back here trying everything he can to get around Sweet. It looks like he fell off just a smidge, over the last 5 sectors. What would you tell him, if you could be in his ear to try to get him back out there?
Striker?
Yeah.
Consistent. These last 8 minutes, 9 minutes, whatnot, just be consistent with your corners. Don't try to push it too hard to try to get to him, because that's how you can mess up. Just be smooth. Make sure you hit your lines and everything like that, and you'll gain on him. And you see right here that looks like he's gained on him some more. So.
Oh yeah, he's all over. All over.
As much as anybody would want to push it to try to get that position with only 8 minutes left, just be smooth, be consistent. As you see him getting ready to go to the outside here, and he uses the lap car as a pick.
See, and that's what a move by Striker. Now he just has to hold on to 7 more minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to be the longest 7 minutes of his life.
David Steiner.
That was Steiner.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were just talking about having to use a car as a pick, and that's exactly what he did there, and it all paid off for him.
Smart move.
Yes, very.
Smart move on his part. I mean, as we ride with Striker right here, he's pulling on Sweet in the last 4 sectors, and he's not giving up. As you see him dive bomb Roberts, and he uses Roberts as a pick as well.
Yeah, we got
to the wall.
We got Solace in the garage. 4th place. That commentator's curse, man. I was really hoping for a good position for Steven. He did good all race long, holding that top 4 position, and he got into the grass. But he didn't lose any positions because everybody's so gapped.
Yeah, we're back here on that replay. It looks like he just got into a little high. He's coming around the corner. Once you get back on the gas, and he's got a baby, it spun himself out. Kind of backed it up against the wall there. Little love tap.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too, because as soon as Striker got around Sweet, you could see that Striker just pulled away. So he just needed to get by him, and he was must have been obviously faster.
Well, and maybe he was holding him up, maybe he wasn't. But I mean, to use a pick once and then to use another pick,
yes, just such a good battle between those guys, those two.
And you can definitely tell just by watching these guys. I mean, they're a push. Striker, I mean, just the guy ain't lifting as as much as he was.
He's not, and he's got to be careful because with all these lap cars he's going around, it looks like he's just sending it for the last 5 minutes or whatnot. You got to be careful though. One little mess up, and it'll let Sweet catch back up to him.
I mean, what? that Striker will go back and check that out and put that on the highlight reel. That was some of his best driving I've seen.
Yeah, we had Mark Retchen come into the pits, and he's pulling out again. So I'm guessing he didn't have enough fuel or something, but Retchen pulled back up.
That's not good, but you know who that's good for? My boy Tyler Hammond's son, up 5 positions as he currently sits in 6th. This guy was in the back, and now he's sitting in 6th. And he's still 2 laps down.
Yeah, if he can get up there and get to Mark, it looks like Gene McClune is 11th. So 11th is Gene, 12th is Retchen, and 13th is Tyler. So could be 2 positions possibly if something were to come around.
Yeah, I'm looking at the difference between Gene and Hammond right now, and in the last 3 sectors, Hammond's been slower, unfortunately. The last 4 seconds. Only about it's Gene's really quick in these GT3s. I mean he's more or less the guy to beat most of the time. So I mean, for Hammond to even be up near him, trying to chase him down, speaks waves and volumes. B&B's gonna be proud of this.
Oh yeah, I would. I mean, grandparents of Tyler's family. I'd just be proud of him because he's smooth. He doesn't over push it. He just as you see, James Pierce is up to 9th place overall. I think the lowest I saw him was like 15th or 16th. So you've seen he's gained a couple more positions and possibly a top 10 here.
He's kicking himself in the butt. Just making a silly mistake like that.
Yeah, I wish maybe had the opportunity to talk to him just to see what exactly was going on, because or did he use his fast repair or this or that, because he pitted 2 or 3 times there.
Yeah, it is what it is. It happens. A life or death situation. Good for that.
Yeah, he's up another position now. As I was talking about it, he's up to 8th now. That for Pierce.
Yeah,
he's coming up on 7th. Colby is 7th, and coming up on him.
They could pass the GT3s all day long. Other than, stay out of my way.
Stay out of my way.
If I'm going off my clock, I'm gonna say we have 2 minutes left. And these guys, Stryker's not letting off at all. He's gassed down. Marshall is faster in sector 1 and 3. Stryker Stryker's just not as fast as some of these guys that do this practically for a living. These guys are in it to win it every time they go out to these tracks. These are the only cars they race.
I think Tyler maybe gained another position. I think he was 13th. Now he's 12th. Puts Mark Hutchin back to 14th.
Well, right. So going back, that's when he made that pass. He's sitting in 6th for the GT3 class. He was 7th.
Unfortunately, got some more breaking news. It looks like Noah Blackwell took it home and took it to the trailers. So he was doing well. He had a couple spin outs and incidents, and was hoping he'd just finish the race. But I don't know. Maybe he got into something again, totaled the car. I'm not sure, but he's done for the day.
Well, the man with the hot rod, I could just see Stryker right now wishing there was another hour worth of race.
Yeah. Let's see if he could get up to Thad there. As it looks like Thad is in the pits.
That is.
The leader is in. They're coming out of pits. Coming out.
Maybe he just need a quick pinch of fuel, to come back out.
Flash and go.
Because I believe we're down to 1 minute, 2 minutes, somewhere in that general area left race time.
Yeah, the gaps are just been
Gonzalez just went off track.
Ooh.
Let's go take a look. He spun it too, man. These cars are so finicky, man.
Got to be the tires. We looked at everybody pitting, and it looked like none of them took tires. They just took fuel. So, granted, they've been using these same tires for the last hour and a half.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. Coming down to the wire.
Yeah, it's this race went better than I expected it to. Honestly, I thought it'd be kind of boring. Everybody just follow the leader, but it's been action-packed for the most part.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good race. I'd kind of beg to differ with you on this one. It looked like it was more just everybody cruising for the most part. We'd have a couple battles here and there, but when we've had the battles, they've been awesome battles.
Yeah, and look at the guy that's been the conservative guy, Nathan Biggert. He's just been keeping us calm, cool, and collected. And he's gonna roll to a victory here in the very soon.
Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about Nate Biggert tonight, but
Mark Gretchen just crashed.
Oh man, you know, commentators curse again, man.
I hate to see it.
I do too.
He got loose and just looped it. I wouldn't say that's a crash, but maybe him hitting the wall is considered the crash.
Yeah, tires are starting to play a factor here while you just got a few minutes left. Yeah, sad to see it for Gretchen. He just, here lately, he just can't put it all together. It just seems like he does well and keeps it out of trouble, and then towards the end, something just unfortunately happens.
And we still got Sweet back here chasing Striker, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Striker says he's fine. I don't understand why that's that. He's all good. Unless it's like counting off track or something.
Yeah, with the time running out here, I'm going to run down your top three on each class. You got Thaddeus Marshall running first, Michael Strickland running second, and Peyton Sweet running third. You know what? Peyton Sweet, I think we've talked to him about every week, haven't we?
Yeah, pretty sure we have.
Staying consistent. And then Nate Biggert, Kobe Hartung, and it says James Pierce, but Nathan Biggert, yeah, David Steiner, that's what I was thinking. Yep, David Steiner. Your top three for GT3.
And winding down. These guys are probably tired, sick of seeing each other on the track. Striker's sitting in second, waiting for it to be over. He pulls it down in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Tyler Hammond. You know, 12th place. If he wouldn't have had that incident in the beginning of the race, which I think you might be right. I think he might have been involved in that or something. We'll have to maybe go back and look. But yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, he is a good driver. He's patient, and these guys, you know, for guys that he don't normally run with on a regular basis, are giving him a lot of respect on the track.
Yep, you see Pierce going around Tyler there.
Hold it on by. Hold it on by.
There's Sherburge in the pits, running fourth. Maybe not enough fuel. Has to get some fuel. He's pulling back out now.
Down.
James Pierce overall is up to 7th, so there's another position for James. Man, he's really put the pedal down since being back in 15th and 16th.
Good race.
Steven Salas still having a good run too. He's running 5th overall.
Salas. Pink, green, and yellow machine.
You know, we haven't talked a whole lot about Caffrey, Michael Caffrey, all day long. Just kind of been cruising, kind of been back in that 5th, 6th place in his class. Caffrey going to bring it home in one piece.
Well, you know, when you have an accident start out like that right out of the gate, it kind of jumbos the whole starting grid up to where they get spaced out, and then, you know, you get drivers that are super consistent throughout the run, and you never see them again. And then you got drivers that make a few more mistakes that don't get involved, and they get caught up, and then everybody just...
Yep. I think that that crash there at the beginning kind of almost called the whole race. I mean, it spaced everybody out really early, and just how it's been most of the race is just spaced out battles.
I do like that.
Oh, as we saw Steven Salas going around Nate Biggert. Nate Biggert gets into the back. Nate Biggert gets into the back of Steven. Looks like Steven cut his nose off a little bit and then got into the back of him and put Steven towards the grass.
Yeah, I mean, just a little rubbing. Rubbin's racing.
Yeah.
You know
Could have been a lot worse.
You know what I need to do? I need to put a timer on that.
Oh, for the race time?
Yeah. Because I'm sitting here going off my actual clock. The race started at 8:30. We're at 10:06, so I was kind of going off that. And evidently, that's not very wise.
Yeah, I've got a mine on inside the race. I've got it 1:33. So I mean, an hour and a half, about 3 minutes over.
Yeah, I'm not 1,000% positive on how these road courses work with the time, but it seemed like last week went super fast. Out of nowhere we were done, and then this way, we're staying on top of it, and we're not.
It seems like it's still going by quick. I mean, we're pretty much about done. It just amazes me how fast these go by broadcasting up here in the booth because we're doing so much. They go by quick, but they're a lot of fun, man. I like doing it with you.
Absolutely, it's a good time. I mean, I love that strikers are sitting in second still. Okay, now we're starting to get checkered flags. So, I mean, as they cycle through, taking their checkered flags, we're going to keep up to date with everybody. We'll go over the finishing results. We'll take a short break to get the podium drivers in line and in the booth. We'll start interviewing. Checkered flag, baby.
Checkered flag.
What a race
Looks like
between strikers.
Yeah, sure. That is Marshall, Michael Strickland, and Peyton Sweet is your top three in GTP. You got Nathan Biggert, Kobe Hartung, and David Steiner, your top three for GT3. We'll be talking with Thaddeus Marshall, Michael Strickland, and we'll be talking with Nate Biggert and Kobe Hartung.
But we didn't see a lot out of Colby, which is normally expected. He's normally somewhere in the main mix. Granted, he was second practically the whole race. He just kind of stayed out of trouble most of the day and kind of rode around.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what he wanted to do. Maybe he realized once people get so far out and gapped, that he was just going to cruise and just try to hold on to that second place.
Hey, second place is second place. Listen, I know Stryker isn't a fan of second place. Colby definitely isn't a fan of second place. But for me, if I could be in second place, I would be tickled pink.
Oh yeah, especially in road racing. If I was out here and I got second place, it's almost like pigs fly, man.
You might as well just give me the Daytona 500 trophy because that's how I'm celebrating.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. You read my mind.
Hey man, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Marshall's
Ryan,
going to go down into the grass and burn her down.
As we end this race here, let everybody know that next week, Wednesday, we have a bye week, so we will not be racing next Wednesday. We're back after next week, the following week, and we are racing at. We are at. I don't even want to butcher this name. It's I don't know.
No, it's phenomenal. Keep it up. The viewers are going to love this. That Iowa education.
Roaring at Hunger Roaring, I'm guessing. That's where we're at March 6th. It's a 1 hour race. Hunger Roaring, I'm guessing. Yeah, but just a reminder.
Nathan Biggert will definitely correct us if we're butchering that name. I guarantee it.
Yeah, so just a reminder that next week we are off for the road racing.
Let's go over our results. If I can find my mouse. Race results. All right. Here is our race results. Thaddeus Marshall, number 1 in the GTPs, followed by Michael Strickland, number 2. Peyton Sweet will take number 3. Steven Salas, number 4. Christopher Burrs, number 5th. James Pierce will be 7th. Mark Odell, 16th. Bryant Lucas, 17th. For the GT3s, we have Nathan Biggert, number 1. Colby Hartung, number 2. David Steiner, number 3. Caffrey, number 4. G. McClellan, 5th. Tyler Hammond, 6th. Anthony Damani, 7th. Mark Retchen, 8th. Noah Blackwell, 9th. Wesley Street, round. What a good race that was.
Yeah.
I really hope we get to see Wesley Straight up there duking it out with these guys because I've watched him race, and he's a hell of a driver. He really is. It's just the luck in the last 3 races have not gone his
No, they really haven't. And he is a good racer, so hopefully he can get that turned around. Anyway, a fun fact, I forgot to say one that I wanted to say. Pretty interesting. There's only with the Daytona International Speedway, there's only been 3 drivers that have won the Daytona 500 and the 24-hour road race at Daytona. At this, those 3 are Jamie McMurray, Mario Andretti, and AJ Foyt. Those 3 guys have won both the Daytona 500 and the Rolex 24 at Daytona. That's crazy.
That is nuts. And it's such a popular track, so it you know what they say about Daytona, anything can happen.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what kind of race. You could be on a scooter and it'd be a hell of a race.
yeah, anything. I guess they run motorcycles here on the road course, and I guess those bring in thousands of people. That's crazy.
Yeah, that would be sweet to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to round out your podium drivers, get them all organized, get them up in here, get some interviews going. We will be right back. All right. Let's get Mr. Hardtongue. How you doing tonight?
Doing great.
Man, what a unorthodox, unique race. I would have to say. What in the world did you see out of the gate at the start of that race? Because I mean, there was cars going everywhere.
Well, I'll look in your back mirror in turn 1 and look ahead. I honestly, I wanted to get through turn 1, and me and Nate did that, but it seems like the rest of the pack did not manage to make it through there clean.
What did you find to be the biggest challenge of running a 90-minute race here? I mean, I know you've done the Rolex 24 and, a bunch of endurance races. What was the challenge tonight, do you think?
Not falling asleep, dude. I had 0 battles this race. I was by myself the whole time.
Yeah,
it was rough.
we were talking about that too. It just seemed like you and Biggert just kind of had so much space between yourselves that you were just both riding around, and it was like a more of a maintain the position kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how the longer races go. You kind of just get spread out, and then once you get to a point, some certain point in the race, you just don't see each other or anyone else again.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, you have a teammate in here, Wesley Straight. The guy, the poor guy, man. He's not, things have not went his way in the last 3 races. Do you got any insight? Getting a hold of him is next to impossible. What's going on with your teammate?
He forgot to check his fast repair. That's what happened today.
So he wasted it right out of the gate.
No. He needed to use it and he didn't. So he had like 7 minutes of required from that turn 1 wreck. That
Oh,
somehow
no.
gave him a meatball. I'm looking at the replay and like he barely got hit, but it gave him 7 minutes of damage,
That
and he didn't have his fast repair checked.
Hey,
that
Colby, while you're on that, do you know who all was involved in that beginning wreck?
I believe it was Noah Blackwell, Gene McClung, and Wes. Someone else got spun into Wes, but that's all I know.
a better question is for you to ask him, Church, is how to pronounce the next race.
I'm saying the next race because we're off next week. But the following week on March 6th is our next one, and I want to say it's
Oh, it's the Hungaroring.
Hungarian.
No, Hungaroring.
Hungaroring.
It's in Hungary. Little fun fact, pre-fun fact. It was used in the Gran Turismo movie as
Oh.
Le Mans.
Really? Huh.
It was.
See, I like his fun facts better than yours, Church.
Yeah, I'll just call it microwave.
There's probably a hotel there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, you come in second place on a crown jewel. What's the plan for the next few crown jewels we got coming up? I think there's one in Nuremberg or Nürburgring. Is that it? Nürburgring?
Nürburgring.
Yeah, you got one there. And then you got one at Le Mans. What's the goal going into those crown jewel races?
Putting Nate in the wall and driving away.
We seen him get mixed up with a couple GTPs, and he didn't budge.
Yeah. I don't know. Just staying consistent. Honestly, like just don't lose your mind. Keep cool and be consistent. Yeah.
You know what? Here we seen more spin outs than any other race we've done yet, especially from the GTPs, but we even seen a bunch of them from the GT3s. What advice would you give to your fellow competitors, to keep the car straight and not spinning out?
Yeah, I mean it's open setup. There's ways to make your car more stable. Add some more wing into it, and it'll be more stable with a little decrease in straight line speed. But if you're having problems spinning out, put some wing on it.
That's some good solid advice. Church, what do you got for him?
Well, Kobe, good race, man. You didn't really have anything much exciting going on for your race, like
Not
you
at
said.
all.
You by yourself quite often, but you know what, dude? I mean, top 3, so you can't ask for any more. Just brought her home clean and with the top 3.
Oh yeah, consistency is key.
Well, Colby, you got a P2. It's a crown jewel race. You can't be mad about that. You got anybody at home you want to thank?
Yeah, appreciate the field for for what I've seen keeping it clean. I didn't see much people on the track, but when I did, they kept it clean. Um, appreciate my teammate Wes for being there in spirit, being there for one turn, and then uh, leaving. So uh, but yeah, appreciate you guys for the broadcast and Striker and John for putting this thing on. And yeah,
All right, Colby Hardtongue, your P2 finisher here in the GT3 race. Next week is a bye week, so rest up, and we will see you in March 6th for a 1 hour race at
Microwave.
I ain't even going to pronounce it either.
See you March 6th.
The Hungaroring.
The Hungaroring.
Yes.
Have a good night, Mr. Hardtongue.
Yes, sir.
That's funny. We're going to have them repeat that every single time. You know this, right?
Yep.
Let's get Mr. Biggert up here. Mr. Bigger, the man with the plan, the man that this isn't nothing new for you getting interviewed. Congratulations on the win tonight. Walk me through
Yeah,
what the night consisted of for you.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, pretty much just wanted to qualify this time. In the past I had like a penalty last week, had to start in the back and kind of struggled from that. But I knew I had good speed in the field. I know Daytona well, so was hoping to get the pole, got it, and basically just after the start, it was a little hectic out there, but I just wanted to get enough of a gap to stop Colby from being able to draft because I knew I had more speed than him. He was able to stay with me because of having that draft on the oval part. So once I broke that and started to pull away, it was just cruising, staying smooth, save a little bit of fuel, and yeah, just stay smooth and not mess up the bus stop, and was able to just slowly pull away. It's weird on how sometimes, you start saving fuel and you go faster because you're not pushing it so hard, you're not sliding the tires, and you're just using the amount of grip that's available, not trying to get too much. So it worked out well, and happy to come home tonight with a victory for sure.
Well, and most importantly, a crown jewel victory. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's great to win the crown jewel, although we'll see how it goes because the crown jewel is the 3 race deal, and with Nürburgring being one of them, I think that's one of my really like worst tracks. I struggle there. I haven't put in the time to learn it well enough, so we'll see how it shakes out. It's going to be a close fight for that for that special events part of Chop Shop racing.
what what's one of the things you took away from tonight with mixing it up with your own guys, because I know you ran the 24-hour too. But what's one of the things you took away the most, whether it be tire management, fuel management, just keeping the nose clean? I mean, I like to think that I learn something new every time, even if I race there 1,000 times. I mean, where do you stand with that?
Yeah, it's always the same for me. It's multi-class racing, so it's just about being safe, being predictable for the GTPs to get by, not having an incident. That's all there is to road racing, really, is getting what you can for lap time, but don't overdo it, and just be predictable for them guys, because that's where you're most likely to get into an accident, is with the overtaking of the faster cars. So I just be cautious, and once you have the track to yourself, that's when you can try to get in some better lap times. But just stay safe out there. That's the biggest deal about multi-class racing.
I'm glad you brought that up, because near the end of the race, I believe it was Sweet that got around you, and it looks like I don't know if you came down or he came up, but it looks like you ran your nose right across from him. What happened there?
Oh, the last lap?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, that was Pierce.
Oh, Pierce.
And yeah, I mean, because of his incidents in the race, he was on the same lap as me. And I was in Discord with him hanging out, and just I was hoping that I could actually beat him, even though he was in a GTP, because I had a big enough lead on him. But once I knew there was 2 to 3 laps to go, they gained 10 seconds a lap on you. I knew he was going to get to me, so he got to me, and then he was just trying to play and help me draft, and I was trying to get like a quick lap time, but it kind of got messed up to where he lifted a little bit too much, and I got into the back of him and spun him. And I mean, hey man, it worked because I beat James Pierce and he was even in a GTP, so I'm proud of that tonight for sure.
It's not just enough for you to win in your own class. You just had to beat one of them, didn't
That's right, especially him.
you? Church, what do you got for him?
I don't have a whole lot besides, Nate, good win, buddy. Like you said, pretty quiet out there tonight. Didn't really talk a whole lot about you. Not a lot going on. I mean, you grabbed the lead and you took off. Um, you know, next week we're off. The week after is Hungaroring. Is that how you say it?
Hungaroring.
Hungarian. Okay, yeah. There's somebody else that I asked, and I still can't pronounce it. There's two, but nah, dude, good win tonight, and you're in a good position for the crown jewel. So you'll be leading that right now in the GT3s, and we'll see if you can build on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to taking a week off, getting back to it. Love racing with these guys. Before we go, just give my shout outs. Give a shout out to the league, Chop Shop, TV doing a broadcast. You guys are awesome, man. Really enjoying you guys being up in the booth. Love going back, watching it, listening to y'all. Shout out to VVR, sponsoring the series. Really appreciate everything they've done for getting this series, keeping it going. I love doing the road racing. I love racing with Chop Shop. So just appreciate everybody, all the fans watching, and always when I get to do the interviews, give a shout out to my number one fan, Mom. Love you.
We love you, Mom. I like it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Nathan Bigger, P1 for the GT3 and the first Crown Jewel race winner. We look forward to seeing you not next week, but the following week. If you got any tricks up your
Hungaroring.
sleeve. Hungarian. Yep.
Hungaroring.
Hungaroring.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Yep.
He's working on it. It's a work. Church is a work in progress. I can't say it, but I love it when he does it.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
You too, buddy. All right. Nathan Bigger, P1. Let's get Mr. Marshall up here so we can learn how to pronounce his name too.
That is.
Mr. Marshall, how you doing tonight, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing great. The first question we both have for you is, how do you pronounce your first name?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. See, I can remember that.
Thaddeus. Yeah, that's close. I was saying Thaddeus. Thaddeus.
So
Gotcha.
is Thaddeus like Greek?
I believe so.
That is awesome. I love it, by the way. Walk us through tonight. You and Pierce are teammates. And he obviously had some bad luck. Did that excite you at all? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pounce on him. Or was it one of those things like, oh, dang it, I wanted to race him?
It's, I capitalized on his mistake that he did, but I'd rather race him and try to beat him that way rather than him wreck the car and just take the win from him. But, being teammates, I'll try to learn from him going down the road because there's quite a few tracks that I've never raced a GTP car at, let alone really haven't raced a whole lot of road coming from dirt oval.
Oh no. See, we got a dirt fanatic in the booth with us as always. So you gotta be careful saying that. This guy gets excited when he hears somebody runs dirt.
I used to run dirt. I don't anymore. I kind of gave it up to run road.
One of the common problems we've seen tonight, and the GTPs especially, is a lot of guys were spinning out. What was your takeaway from that? Was it just a throttle control thing? Was it tire wear? What do you think?
I know I had my issue at the beginning of the race, and it was just cold tires. And luckily, I was able to lock it up and keep the car straight and keep on going. But it could have been tire wear or just them just overdriving the car itself.
Yeah. What's one of the biggest things you took away from tonight? I mean, like you said, you don't run a lot of road, and you don't run this car often. I mean, and everybody's constantly learning. What's like the biggest takeaway that you took away from tonight?
The biggest takeaway was I was following Pierce through a lot of the corners, and he'd show me the faster line where I wasn't able to take those lines like he was. Especially during the bus stop, because he was telling me, "Oh, you got a lot more potential going through it." And the next lap, I tried to brake a little later and just missed it completely.
Yeah, we did see. when he finally got back out on the pits and you got around him, we seen you guys nose to tail. He would get in front of you, you would get in front of him. So we didn't know if there was a strategy to kind of gap the field even more than you already had. I mean, I think you guys had, like a 28-second lead above second place. So I mean, that explains a lot, if he was just kind of showing you the lines and helping you be better, for the next race. What's the plan? Next week's a bye week. And then we're back, March 6th at I can't say it, church.
Hunger ring.
Hungering.
Hungaro ring.
Hungaroing.
Hungaro.
What's the plan leading up to that race? Are you just going to go to the track and practice, or is it a track that you already know?
It's not a track that I know, so I'm gonna probably do quite a bit of practice next week for it, and then probably a little bit this week, and just go from there. I mean, I may ask Pierce later, see if he's got any tips or anything, maybe even a setup, because I know he shared his setup with me tonight, so we were running the same set. He's just put more hours into it.
Church, what do you got for him?
Not a whole lot, besides good race, man. Good race. Like you come in tonight, tonight's your first race. You come in, you show these guys, and you tell these guys, "Hey, I'm here, and I'm here to win." So, good race, man, and excited to see what you can do throughout the season.
Thank you.
Mr. Marshall, P1 for the GTPs. You got anybody at home you want to thank?
I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast tonight, and Striker for putting on the race, and then Pierce for inviting me into this league, and then the guys over at 212 Racing for bringing me in after I decided to quit running dirt.
Hey, man, we're glad to have you. Everybody's welcome in Chop Shop. We love to see new faces. We love to see new faces that win, because that puts a target on your back. So it'll be interesting to see, what happens, as the season goes on. So we look forward to that. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
You have a great night, sir.
You as well.
Mr. Marshall, P1. The Deus. He said the Deus, right? The Deus?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus, that's right.
Just remember Thad and Thaddeus.
Thad. Oh, we got Peyton Sweet coming up. We always throw an oddball up. Out
Here's
of
somebody
the 1-2.
to talk to.
I know.
I was wanting to talk to him or Striker, one of the two.
Well, we're going to have to talk to Striker regardless. He got second, so he's going to have to deal with it. I'll let you lead this one if you want.
Go ahead.
Mr. Peyton Sweet, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How you boys been?
Oh, I can tell you one thing. You and Striker put on one hell of a show.
I'm glad you guys liked it from the booth, because it was definitely stressful for me for I don't even know how long it was. It felt like forever.
It felt like forever for us, because we had no idea how that was going to go. We watched you use some of the GT3s to advance, and we watched Striker do the exact same thing to you. What was your thought process while that was happening?
I felt like I just had a faster car. I felt like it was a combination of feel like I had a faster car, or I was just pushing a lot more. I knew I had to pit, so I was just like, I'm just gonna try to send it. I've been kind of catching him slowly throughout the race after I messed up on lap 1 bus stop, and so I thought I maybe had a chance. And then when I got to him, he unfortunately he made contact with, I think it was Grayson there, and took advantage of that. But then I just I made a mistake in the bus stop that about maybe 10 minutes later that had caused me to have a slowdown on track. And I think a combination of that plus just unlucky where I was with the GT3s and the NASCAR 1, unfortunately, just kind of got them around me. And then I thought I was going to get them on the pit stops at the end there with 10 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I made a strategic error and I took tires, and he obviously didn't. So he ended up pulling 10 seconds on me. But it was fun while it lasted. I'll tell you that much, guys. It was fun to race them. It was fun to have a bit of competitiveness with another GTP. It felt like sometimes it's kind of boring just being by yourself or passing GT3 cars. So it was nice to have a battle there at the end. Unfortunately, it didn't come out the way I wanted it to.
And we heard that from several of the drivers tonight. It was really just fall in line and go. I think a lot of people had very different setups And, then over the course, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the GTPs were spinning. And I didn't know if that was a throttle management deal or a tire deal. I mean, what was your takeaway, from avoiding, spin yourself out?
So I'm thankful that I have a great team behind me at Hushport Racing. We've worked with Makoni Setup Shop. There's some great people over there, and we have a really awesome setup that we use for the 24. Um, and it's an endurance setup, so we're using the longer gears and all that. And I felt like we had a really good handling car that even um, that when you without it being cold with on warm tires, it was great. I mean, but like that initial first lap when you're on cold tires, if you don't warm them up enough, it is hard to handle. And I wonder if some of the guys had the same thing. I heard some people talking about using the shorter gear shifts, which I don't know if that might have caused some issues too, where they're getting on the gas a lot quicker. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I felt like at least for us, I felt like tire wear was the handle in the car was great. Just because we were using an endurance setup, it was a longer gear shifts. The only time you felt like the car was really going to get loose on you was if you either sent it in too hard in the bus stop or if you just had cold tires. And honestly, like other than that, I mean, I didn't really see many issues apart from that. So where the wrecks were happening, I didn't really get to see it. I haven't really gone back and looked yet. So
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was an interesting race all the way around. And we saw people come, we saw people go. During the pit stops, I didn't see really anybody take tires. I mean, was it just gas and go all night?
not for me. I took tires. I felt like at least on the first stop, I decided to take tires because I had spun out in the bus stop on the first lap. I was definitely using up my tires a lot, sending it into the corners. I felt like I was really gaining on everybody by just sending the car right into into turn one. And honestly, the way that the GTP field was so spread out, I feel like you could have taken tires and been fine. So it was just that last stop that I should have just done fuel only because my tire wear was okay. And with 10 minutes left, I really needed to keep that gap close to Michael, and I ended up messing up and taking tires. So I don't know how it was for anybody else. I feel like at least with our endurance setup, it's hard to double stint on the tires, and I don't know what track temp was, but I felt like it was a little slick for the most part. But I mean, everyone has their own setup. I guess it's how diverse this field is. So.
Yeah, I do got one last question for you. What was going on with the blinking?
I live out in the middle of nowhere. Unfortunately, my T-Mobile 5G internet can sometimes be a blessing. It can sometimes be a curse. And tonight it was definitely a curse for sure. I didn't. No one was really telling me a lot about it. But I did notice a couple of my laps went invalid for some disconnections. And I'm just glad I didn't have any blinking issues on my end. So like I didn't see anybody blinking out for me. So I was just praying that it would have stabilized at some point. I'm sure for a few people it wasn't the greatest me passing them. So had to kind of look back and see what it looks like on the broadcast for some people. I'm not sure if I scared a few people or not, but yeah, unfortunate.
I,
Trying to get it fixed, but what happened? You live in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, I could tell you it was scaring us because you were in and out a lot, and I was like, man, maybe he's closing some programs down, trying everything he can. I tell you what, I live in the middle of nowhere too. If you do get a chance, that Starlink, man, it's top notch stuff.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I also heard good things about T-Mobile 5G too, and look how that's working out for me. So,
and I still blink myself. I mean, it's just packet loss. So I mean, if you don't have a good ping, it typically happens.
yeah.
Church, what do you got for him?
Man, such good race, good race. I mean, you think of road racing, those are the battles like you and Stryker had that everybody wants to see. It wasn't just one lap and you're done battling. You guys battled for multiple laps, and it was so fun to watch you guys. Um, with that said, you kind of already answered my question about the mechanical issue you had with the internet. But glad to see you get that fixed up and you're able to stay back out there, because I'll tell you one thing, just like Ryan said, it was scary, dude. You were going everywhere. You see smoke, and then you come back. Then you see smoke, and then it was crazy. Glad to see you get it fixed, man. Able to bring home P3 or top 3 finish.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
You got anybody at home you'd like to thank?
Yeah, of course. Just thanking everybody from Hutch Sport Racing. Those guys are awesome. Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, All Star 15 TV, Drinking Bows, Auto Racing. Of course, as I mentioned, McConey Setup Shop. They helped. They had the setup for us tonight. It was just so good. Effective CPR. Holly Hill Farms. Actually, that's not what it's called. Honey something Farms. I'm sorry. I'm rambling off the top of my head. But just thankful for every one of them. JP Customs as well. These guys they're all awesome. So thankful to have them on the car.
Hey man, we love to have you. We can't wait to see what you do. Next week is a bye week, so get your rest, get geared up, get some practice in, and we'll see you on the next race.
No worries. Appreciate it, guys. Take care.
You too. Peyton Sweet, your P3 finisher in the GTPs. Now we have to hunt down the infamous striker.
Yeah, why we do that? Why we do
it.
that? Why we do that? We just got to give a shout out to Tim Lee and Virtual Velocity Racing League for allowing us to do this under their name. It's awesome. It's a blast. It's fun. So thank you, Tim, and thank you, VVR. A shout out to Jason at Signature Esports, one of the best broadcasters out there. I know Ryan learned a lot from you, and we really appreciate that too.
And the overlay, man, the overlay looks so good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a few little tweaks I need to make. I made them before we started the race, and I didn't save the damn thing. So that's why, like, the banner above the tower is just off a little bit. So I'll get that.
Hey, another race in, man. It'll be even better, even better. You'll have it looking even better.
Hey, man.
Just keep learning more and more and more. Yep.
He said, "Well, good."
Are you trying to hide from us?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Are you trying to hide from us?
No.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
Gator don't play no stuff. You know what I'm saying? P2
Yes, sir.
finish tonight, man. P2 finish. And it wasn't given to you at all. What was going on between you and Sweet?
I don't know. You just appeared out of nowhere. I guess I wasn't paying attention. So for the longest time there, I was going to try to one stop it, and I started to back up and short shift. I thought I had a 15-second gap on the guy that was behind me, and then before you knew it, I looked up and Peyton, he got it down to 6, and then down to 4, and then down to 2, and he was there. Yeah, and then we obviously we had a good battle there for a couple of laps. It was really fun. I kind of just lucked out. I think we both made some pivotal mistakes on the bus stop where we both got time penalties. Either I got it one time and the next lap he would get it, so nobody was able to really take off on each other. And it wasn't until we got in lap traffic that I kind of used a legal pick. I think I used, I don't know if it was Tyler or somebody on the bottom. He was on the bottom, and as soon as I saw that, I went up top, and I used that GT3 car as a pick and kind of got around him. And then after that, I never saw him. I don't know if he got another penalty or he just took too long in the pits. But I mean, it was enough to get around him and stay out in front.
See, from our perspective, so I remember the Tyler Hammond deal, and he used him as a pick on you because you were down low coming up to the main track. And then I think a lap later, when you guys hit the bus stop again, you picked him twice, not once, but twice, because there's a GTP car there too. And you kind of swerved in and out of both of them coming out of the bus stop there, which was, you got to go back and watch the broadcast. It was awesome. Like, if you didn't plan that, then I would pretend that you did because it was sweet. I mean, you just hands down the best battle of the night. I mean, you guys put on one hell of a show, and it was awesome watching. I noticed a lot of the GTPs spinning out, and I didn't know if tires was a contributing factor or if the car was lighter because it had less fuel or if it was a throttle management thing. Did you struggle at all keeping that thing straight?
The car was squirrely, definitely on full fuel load, cold tires, which is usually at the start of each run. About 5 or 6 laps into the run, it's on edge. It's definitely on edge. You got to brake earlier. The brakes are super responsive. The tires are cold. The car has a lot of body roll in it. You're just handling it at that point. But once the tires get hot, you burn off a little bit of fuel. The car seems to hold okay. I know the Cadillac's a little tougher coming out of the corner. It's a little more torqueier than, let's say, the Acura. So coming out of the corner in the Cadillac's probably the sketchiest moment for me. But once you start rolling through the gears, it's on rails for the most part. I mean, it's just holding down, bunch of aero, tires are warm, and as long as you're hitting your marks and not overdriving it, usually is okay.
And you're no stranger to road course racing. But I know you haven't ran like a ton of GTPs, and this is a track you are obviously familiar with. What'd you take away the most from tonight?
Daytona's fun. I wouldn't consider it one of the tougher courses. The bus stop, there's 2 or 3 turns here at Daytona that are tricky for me. Most of the other guys, especially some of the more experienced guys, they'll consider this kind of a cookie cutter track because there's a lot of you're on the speedway part, so you're high on the banking. You get a lot of speed up there. The turns aren't too tight. They're pretty predictable. There's no blind side turns or going up and down hills. So for the most part, Daytona's it's I'm not going to say it's an easy place to lay down laps, but most guys have laid down tons of laps here, so they're familiar with the actual track, and I'm that way as well. I've never been as good as some of these other guys here. I think I'm a good field filler. I'll run around. I usually stay out of trouble for the most part. I try to keep it clean, and I lay down hopefully consistent laps as long as I can hit the marks. But Daytona's an awesome place. It should have actually started at night and transitioned into daytime. We kind of dropped the ball on that one. But other than that, man, it was an awesome race. I love racing around Peyton. He made it fun there at the end. He definitely pushed me to the edge. I kind of feel bad for him because, to be honest with you, he probably deserved that position. He came from so far back to not be able to get it. But solid run on his part, and Thaddeus for getting the W in GTP, and I think Nate scraped a GT3 win. So congrats to those guys.
A wise guy once told me, probably about 1 million times, seat time, just a little seat time. You'll be up there contending for the win.
Yeah, this is my 3rd GTP race. So I'm learning this car consistently. There's so many buttons and gizmos and gadgets in this thing that I don't even know what it does. So I'm just loading up and going and just trying to keep it on the track. But yeah, seat time is super important.
Well, it's probably a good thing it wasn't a night race if you have that many buttons to have to navigate and figure out. Church, what you got for him?
I mean, a field filler that we've been seeing get top 3s. So however you want to take that. Good race, man. It was really a blast watching you and Sweet battle it out. When you got by him finally, he was holding you back. Because once you got by him, you were able to start taking off. You gapped him pretty well. If anybody deserved it, it was going to be the one that who finished in front of who. So that was you. So you deserved it over him. Good race.
Appreciate it. Yeah, he did real good. I was doing my best effort to not hit him. I didn't want to ruin his race. We raced for an hour and a half, and the last thing you want to do is 5 laps to go, take out somebody that's got a great finish. So there was points in the race there where I was checking up. He actually, I think it was 7 or 10 laps to go, I started to utilize him to try to save fuel. I was only 2 laps short. I was only 2 laps short from the finish, about 2.5 laps short. And I kind of realized that, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be perfect. I'm gonna just draft around him and see if I can save enough fuel. But I noticed that I was braking slightly better than him, or deeper. I'm just going to call it deeper than him. He was a little softer on entry than I was in certain corners, and I was getting real close to his bumper. So it made me really weary about
into
getting
it.
into them. Yeah, so I checked up. I backed off of them a little bit just to make sure and see if I could keep some draft. But that further backdraft wasn't enough to save enough fuel to get to the end. So it got to the point where it was just, it was just a mental adjustment. Okay, it's go time. I'm going to have to pit regardless, and let's try to get around him. So I was just waiting for not a mistake, because he didn't make many mistakes. You got to use the obstacles around the track, and those obstacles were the TT3 cars. So as soon as I had an opportunity, utilize one of those guys as a pick, and I got a run coming out of that one corner. I utilized it, and then I was able to brake. Like you said, I was a little bit better, I think, in certain corners on braking, because I'd gain on them about half a car length in certain braking zones, and then once I didn't have anybody in front of me, I just started braking hard, taking it in deeper, and was able to hold him off. But yeah, I mean, he did a great job. Honestly, I was very impressed with how he never got rattled, not one time. So kudos to him. Awesome race.
Yeah, you made a perfect judgment and timing call on that pass, because you guys were coming back up on the front straightaway across the line, and when you pulled off the outside, that's when David Steiner was right there to block him for you, so you could get by him. But it was a great race, man. Great battle. Great race overall. You kind of answered the question for me though, that towards the end of the race there, it looked like we were having people pit. So they must have been short on fuel. They must not have could go all the way or something. But
Yeah, most of the guys, at least in the GTP, I know they were trying to one pit it, but we were just a couple laps short. I believe I'm one of the few that stayed out the longest. I was one extra lap, I think, from the leader, and it still wasn't enough. And Peyton didn't make it any easier to start saving, because he was running so hard behind me that I didn't get a chance to save. I don't really know how to save in these cars, short shifting and just trying to brake early and stay off 100% throttle for the most part, but it wasn't enough. We're going to have to practice that and get better at that, because had we been able to save 2 or 3 laps today, we might have been in victory circle just based off of fuel strategy.
I want to say Pierce finished around 8th with all his problems today. Last I look, I believe you're running second in points, like 19 points behind him. You're going to gain some here on him, I think. So, and then plus you're in a good position for the crown jewel. I mean, being the first race and finishing second. So, looking forward to see what you can do, man, and see if you can capitalize. And we're off next week, but then the following week we go to Hungering, something like that.
You said it better than I could.
Yeah, I've been trying to. It's taken me 3 guys. We get 3 different guys to try to get it right. But good race, man, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You guys do a great job. Thank you very much for everything.
Give shout outs.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we give a huge kudos to Virtual Velocity Racing. They're the main sponsors for this league. They're the ones that make it possible that we can come out here and have a good time and put on these good shows. Tim Lee at Virtual Velocity is the man out there. I know we have probably a description in our YouTube, in the YouTube channel here, that specifies where you can go in the event you want to get in contact with them. They have multiple different race series that they run. Great league. You guys should check it out. Again, Tim Lee at Virtual Velocity Racing. We want to thank you very much. All of our sponsors that we have here at ChopShop Racing, Chop TV. Definitely give us a like and subscribe and comment. Keep the engagement on these streams. We definitely want as many as we can, whether it be some of our shorts or our podcasts. Definitely stay with the engagement there. It definitely helps us in the long run to be able to give you this great content that Ryan and Robert are providing with us now. Admin Boxed, Baller Status Boys, B&B Music, Track Racer, Wago Paints, Signature Esports. I know I'm missing a couple here. Speedy Trophies. We just got a brand new sponsor for our poll awards, and in the what is it? The Cup Series, I believe that's what we got. And they're 2 great guys at Stay Tuned Sports. Make sure that you check their podcast as well. YouTube.com at Stay Tuned Sports. So we appreciate everybody. MCI Paints, Geomax, and like I said, everybody there. So appreciate you guys. My 3 sons. We miss you, Sherry. But see you next, I think, in 2 weeks.
March 6th.
yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Have a good one.
Michael
Appreciate it.
Strickland, P2 finish at the first crown jewel of the race. I mean, what a good show. He's one of the owners here at Chop Shop. So Church, I love it when he comes in because I don't have to shout out all the sponsors. He does it for me.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we love all the sponsors, and like I've said over and over again, we can't do it without any of them. But Ryan, what a good race, man.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It started out slow and it picked up near the end. I wish there would have been more battles, but I think when we go down the list and we start hitting these different tracks that people don't know so well is when you're going to see the most action-packed racing that these guys can possibly provide. Hopefully they can keep it clean enough to where we don't see people, toe on in.
Yeah, I can't wait for some of these races coming up, dude. I've never been to these tracks, so it'll be a first to me to see them. But I know some of these tracks are more than just a good racetrack; they're beautiful scenery.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you were saying, there's a Hooters outside the track, a couple hotels. It even if you weren't coming here for a race, it adds to the view. It's kind of
Yep.
like for a race fan, it's like looking at the ocean out of your hotel room.
Yeah, it's just crazy how much things there are to do at a racetrack or during a race weekend. More than just racing, they have so much stuff that they put on or whatnot, concerts or whatnot. Um, yeah, Daytona, a pretty famous track, not only for road course but the oval. Um, yep, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and again, we can't stress enough thanking Virtual Velocity Racing for sponsoring this road series. And I have to go out on a limb. Somebody I did forget is Alex Thompson. As you guys can all tell, that my voice is much clearer than normal. Alex Thompson donated to me or gave me a brand new microphone just for clarity. And on top of that, Jason over at Signature Esports with the overlay. Like I said, I dropped the ball on it. I didn't save the changes that he had me make, so everything's just off a smidge. No big deal. I can get that fixed. I might have to call for him to help me out one last time, but overall the overlay looks sweet. I think I enjoy it. I know everybody in our group enjoyed it, and I hope you guys viewing at home enjoy it. As for that, that's it. Next week we are off. Then we're going to Hergoringberg, right? There's no berg, is
Hungary,
Hungaroring.
Hungarian. Yeah.
We'll see you
Yeah.
guys March 6th at Hungaroring. And
Hungary.
these guys will get it on again. Again, thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to you, Church, for joining me. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, take pictures. We are signing off for the night.